Yeah, because the future of Africa e-commerce solutions, e-commerce under the spotlight, because you guys are in America, you know what e-commerce is. You know what COVID is going to do to the world. Huh? Yeah. So how do you harness technologies not only in workplaces, but more in the things that we do daily? How do we build these platforms? When we build these platforms, what do we have to do? And what is e-commerce after all? Yeah? No, I hope so. Let's see whether he joins in the next few minutes or not. If he doesn't, then we know. Then we know what we are doing. But e-commerce, when you talk about e-commerce, you know, many people don't even know what you're talking about. Millions don't know. So we see whether there is a response. Somebody was watching. Somebody didn't know what we're talking about. But he was talking about what interested him is e-commerce in Africa. And saying that he's got a solution that could make a difference to Africa. And said yes, he got it, he got the link. Yeah. So that is the way things are. Easy and communication. And there are people who may watch this and say, okay, what is the so special about e-commerce? We want to talk about the rule of law, constitutionalism, nothing else. So if you look at just giving the simple example, you left the US, came to Africa, somebody says you're in South Africa, can you help me look for solar equipment? What did you do? Actually. Yeah. And quotation? No, first somebody had to tell you that they wanted solar. For home use, is that correct? And then what happened? I said, I can provide the service. Okay, then what happened? Look for sell me the equipment. So in South Africa, you were only looking for solar equipment. What equipment are you talking about? Panels, batteries, inverter. And who told you how many panels, the number of panels, the number of batteries? I told the guy what size of the house.
what I wanted. I needed to all the household appliances.
So you a technical mind or just a pedestrian giving information?
I had a technical mind, but I didn't know how to decide things.
So you need to know something to determine what kind of equipment you should buy.
What you need to know is what they call in the load. What's your load? What's your house loading like? So what I mean by that is that do you have? How many lines do you have? Computers you have? So then you can say you can add all this up because at the back of your, let's say your TV, there's computers there that determine how many watts it consumes. So you then take all those, then people who are familiar with the calculations, take all those and add them up, determine what your consumption is, which is similar to the load, right? And then see that, okay, the hour, your consumption per hour, what the combined consumption per hour, and then can determine what battery size. Also determine what size of an inverter is required.
Okay.
And also determine how many panels you need.
Yeah.
And then all those be calculated. And then it's also the paneling depends on for instance, if you have two batteries, especially the lead acid batteries, it's advised that it shouldn't go below 50%, for instance.
Yeah.
So you have to maintain your battery charge at above 50%. If you get below 50%, the life of those batteries, you shorten the life of the batteries.
Okay. So if we are talking about the people who contacted you, are they living in Zimbabwe?
No, they're in UK.
So both of them are in the UK.
Here in the States, and the other one is in UK.
In UK. All right. And then the one in the States, he only knew that you were going to South Africa before you left for Africa. Did he tell you about the power or electricity problem?
Before he was always saying that he needed some solution at his house.
Okay. And then you arrived in South Africa. Did you know who to buy from?
Yes, I know there's certain vendor that I able to because for me going to South Africa, I had a fellow guy that had bought from this person.
Okay, what is the name of the company that you then identified? It was a referral. Okay, so the name that you then were referred to, Nungu Solar.
So Nungu Solar, I went to the because that's the one I know. And then I googled some prices on the computer to see if I can get any pricing, but I wasn't too satisfied. So I went and Longo and told them what I wanted. Told me what the size of the system that I had to. They gave me a quotation. That quotation. Then I talked to you.
Before you spoke to me, did you talk to your client first? To tell them, I now have the prices, is it okay? Can I proceed?
I do have that. Now I'm not sure if I told them before or after I talked to you.
But you now have the prices. The next logical thing would be to consult with your client to see whether that is within their budget. So they confirmed that these prices were okay.
Price was okay. Send the money. It takes through a year.
Yeah.
Picked up the money.
So first you now have the prices. You now have the money. Then you meet me now to say you are in solar. You didn't know I was in solar. And you were just sharing what you are doing and that you are about to pay. Then I said, okay, give me your requirements. Let me get another quote coming to me, not to you, of the same products without the supplier knowing I know you. He quoted me for the same. Was it the same price? What was the difference?
I think difference was almost about 1,000 hours.
Okay. So which price did you use to pay?
I used the lesser one.
Which is the one I got. So you saved 1,000 rand. So if you multiply that by 1,000, what would be the saving? As R1 million. Because the only thing you did differently was to share. So what does e-commerce do? It democratizes information. It makes the person make a decision without having to consult you. I can buy materials, I can have them delivered, I can pay for it online. Materials will be delivered, I can track them. Yeah, so it means the people that you helped because you had to travel. But imagine you had just to travel for 2 orders to South Africa. It will not even pay your ticket. So from what you have learned so far, you think there's a bigger market of people who are in the diaspora who need to provide solutions, electricity to their homes, knowing that ZESA is not reliable. And ZESA, in the case of Zimbabwe, is the biggest marketing agent for solar business. So it means now you need other people who have an interest in procuring materials cheaper, transporting them in a friendly manner, and installing them with the knowledge and expertise required to deliver electricity. Once you got
You need that. That is the critical part. To get somebody knowledgeable, because you can buy, imagine, I paid almost 60 or so thousand rands, right?
yeah,
And then I just take a bush mechanic to come and bush electrician, for instance, to come and install it. I will lose all that because most of this equipment you get them with no warranty. If one does not get an expert to install, you can lose all that money.
so you're saying you need to have expertise, but most of the people in the diaspora, the only thing they have is the money, but they don't know who is who in the zoo. And how would they? I see Mr. Kwangware in the US. Mr. Kwangware, good afternoon or good morning to in the US. We are talking about e-commerce, we are talking about solar, we're talking about the experience of Mr. Kunye, who is based in Dallas, Fort Worth. He was just describing what happened to him during his last visit to Zimbabwe. He had an opportunity to visit South Africa, and he was contacted to be able to buy solar inverters, solar panels, solar batteries, accessories, and for Zimbabwe, which he did. He placed an inquiry, he got the prices, and he was about to pay. Then he contacted me. I used his requirements to get another quotation from the same supplier who gave him a discount of more than 1,000 rand. And I say to him, if you know of other people in the US who are concerned about making a difference where they came from and they want to buy solar, they can use you so that you can then give them the benefit of doubt. And you can then have different experiences. And there are many people who have been disappointed when you talk of solar. Disappointed because what they ended up getting is not what they had bargained for. So they ended up losing money. So that's the conversation, Mr. Kwangware. If solar is your interest and Mr. is now building a website so that those who want to provide solar either buy materials, get an installer, they can buy materials cheaper than what they can otherwise buy in the retail market. Those who want to transport the panels and the other parts to Zimbabwe, they can do so and find. Those who want electricity in Zimbabwe, they will get the electricity that they need. And they can get one stop shop where you just go through one window and you buy a combo that allows you to get the electricity that you want. So that's all we were sharing, Mr. Kwangware. So if you are there and this is of interest to you, please step forward, show up, and say something. Because darkness has legs. It is visiting many homes, even during daylight. People have plugs, but there's no electricity. They have bulbs, but there is no electricity. Ironically, I've been talking with an acquaintance from my village who quoted me a price of 32,000 end to end for an 10-roomed house. That's the kind of conversation, 32 rand. Is that a good quote? We will check with the people on the ground. If you are interested, please join this solar family, Mr. Kwangwari, so that we can ask the right question to the right people. It depends on what you are using it for. If it's just electricity, Mr. Kwangwari, it's a different plan. If you want hot water, hot bath, if you want a geyser, there's something else. So something about 10-roomed house, somebody will have to know a bit more, and those questions can best be answered. But Mr. Mdekunya, what was your average cost for just the rand cost before you brought it to Zimbabwe?
Before I brought it to Zimbabwe, you're looking at 30-something thousand.
How much?
30-something thousand.
30-something. That is before shipping.
Before duty, before installation.
Also, they are genuine fake batteries. Is that correct?
That can be tricky too, because what they do, and what I have realized, what some Zimbabwean installers are doing, is that they change the labeling on those batteries. When the labeling is changed, it says 200 ampere hours, for instance. And yet this is a 50 ampere hour or 100 ampere hour. So for a 200 ampere hour, you're paying more. But you don't know that.
And they can also give you equipment that is bought for cheap in China.
Even 6 months.
And when something goes wrong, you lose the 32,000 plus installation cost. So, Mr. Kwangwari, there are many people who have been cleaned and they didn't know better, no one to trust. Imagine you go to a doctor and you have a fracture of your leg. Then he says, no, the best deal is to cut it, because he doesn't want to be bothered with operating. So they amputate your leg because you have chosen the wrong orthopedic surgeon. It happens even in solar, Mr. Kwangwari. Vazhinji vakagerwa. So it's not that simple, but if you are interested in quality, in durability, in a solution, then that's what Mr. Mdekunye is trying to bring to the market. That, thank God, it was not just a saving. When I arrived, I also got an installer approved or authorized by the supplier. And today there is electricity. And touch wood, there actually is, nobody has called to say there's a problem.
It's called to say there's a problem. Electricity is bad. It's minimization.
So that's
availability.
Yeah.
And you know what happened now is that the tariffs, ZZTs have gone up terribly. And because of that, it's actually cheaper for you to only and forget ZESA.
So you can be off grid 100%. Yeah.
Pay another penny. But now you need a durable system that is guarantees that invest that lose huge amounts and then lose that amount again. So you need reputable installers and providers.
But you don't know who is who in the zoo.
No.
So you are on your own, George. Make sure that if you buy, the guy is good for the 32,000. And there is Mr. Fred is talking about the guys that I'm talking about. I asked my acquaintance for references those years installed for the past. I will let you know when I follow up with the references. Many options are welcome. That's the spirit. And I also got a comment from Mr. Fred. Energy Solution you are talking about are those guys here or in Zim? No, this is Mr. Mdekunye is in the United States. He was just talking about his experience with Nungu Solar. And he bought the equipment from Nungu in South Africa and took the equipment himself to Zimbabwe, then got installers recommended or approved by Nungu. That's what happened to him. And he says it was a good experience to deal with a company like Nungu. So that was just his experience. Some people have a different experience.
And then I want to say this. People think that there's no duty on solar equipment. There's no duty, but there's still that.
So what happens when you arrive at the border?
Well, I didn't know that information. I thought everything was going to just pass through freely.
So did you generate a fake invoice or a good invoice? Okay, because there are many people who, when they arrive at the border, they forget the price. So it's 15%. So 15% of the invoice value. Yeah. Okay. So
but there's VAT. So you have to pay the VAT, and then even importation of batteries, you have to have a license.
yeah.
That is interesting, but regardless of
What do you need?
license.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And who provides the license?
So individually, which means you should have a business to import batteries.
Oh. In your case, what happened?
We did the underhand thing.
Okay, so otherwise you could have been stuck.
Yes.
Oh. So that's the reality of so Fred, I hope you had the testimonial. You need a battery. You need a license for batteries. Okay, but you managed to cross the border without the friction that money would have, or the absence of money would have caused to you. Okay. So here we are talking about experiences, and you can't fake them. When you cross the border, they may be asking you for something you had not anticipated. But Mr. Ndekunde, I hope you got Mudekunya, I got Ndekunde, you know. So you see, people don't even know what your name is. So, Akwangware, Mudekunya, yeah. So he's trying to akin to Angie's list here in the states for approved and genuine subcontractor and installers. Are you creating a website akin to Angie's list?
No, he's talking about, there's an Angie's list here. He's still supplying solar solutions here.
That are you planning to do the same for
Angie's list?
Yeah, like Angie's list, or something different?
This one is different from Angie's list.
This one is just an e-commerce platform. You can look for products, and all the installers who want to be on that platform, they can also be hosted on that platform, so that you can, like now he has asked the question, can you tell me whether this makes sense? But you can inbox Mr. Kwangwari the quotation you got, what kind of batteries and what kind of panels are you getting, so that we can also, like Mr. Mudekunya did, then we can also give you an alternative quotation. So you can send your information with the quotation, but without the prices, because the prices are not important. We need to know the batteries you're buying, the make of the inverter, the make of the panels, so that we can compare apple with apples. So please do send your stuff, so that you can get an alternative quote like what Mr. Mdekunye did. He managed to save over 1,000. And 1,000 may be small for one deal, but it can add up if there's a community that faces the same problem. Hopefully that explains that. So next time we meet again, we'll be talking about the testimonials of the people you facilitated for. Without you, what would they have done? Without you, what could have been the worst case? With you, what was the experience? And if somebody, a neighbor, asks, I also want the same solution for my house, what do they say? Go to Uncle Joseph. And that becomes the uncle who picks up all the calls to talk about solar, but he's not in the value. So he said, I might as well be in it than be out of it. Any final words on your side?
Trying to build in the diaspora.
Yeah.
That needs solutions back home. That needs that can it is solve energy.
Yeah. Mr. Kwangwara says, I don't know if there is a way to validate installers based on past experience. It would be great if the vendors and subcontractors can be vetted for work so we can be confident about our purchases. As you know, Nungu is one, and Zonful, who are Energy, who are working with Mr. Bekunye now, they are one of the biggest. They got 100,000 households connected to a pay-as-you-go scheme. In that scheme, you pay for the electricity, you don't pay for the equipment. But they have installers in the country. They can be able to give a quote. If you give your addresses or whatever you need, so that we can get end to end. We have a lot of testimonials. They have more than 200 installers. And Nungu has got more than 8 installers. So we are trying to push them to validate, to rate them so that we get testimonials. When we go to the e-commerce platform, we get news about these people. Who are you? Those who excel are recognized, are showcased. Those who are bad are named and shamed. Those with experiences, they can also share their experiences. Because after all, it's your own money, Mr. Kwangwari. You must get value for money. So sometimes you buy best equipment, but surrender it to somebody who can virtually destroy your equity in the equipment. So the idea is to build a community where people can share experiences on one portal, one e-commerce platform. Next time we'll be showing it just to see what is there, and you can then be able to say, can you improve here or there, so that we can end up with a product where some of these installers are verified, some of the vendors of equipment are pre-screened, because you may pay less today and pay more tomorrow. So there are no winners, there are no losers, but there are a lot of losers where there's no order, there's no structure in the market. So this e-commerce platform that Mr. Mdekunye is talking about is an attempt to build some order where there's chaos like COVID market PPEs. I saw somebody who didn't know anything about anything, but he was talking about masks. 3-ply, Goma. N95, 3M, FFP2, KN95. I said, where did you learn all that? He says, Mkoma, where there's money, there's a lot of learning. And now I'm an expert on PPEs. Even doctors come and consult with me. I got rapid tests. I got all this. I got 1 million masks. I got gloves. I got this, I got that. And the guy doesn't know anything. That was last week. But today he's an expert of something. And he says, Mkoma, if I can find an idiot who pay for the mask more than what I paid for, I'll say God is in it. And I'll pray for his long life. So imagine COVID creating experts elsewhere. Solar is creating experts elsewhere. So on that score, you wanted to say something, huh?
This is in line with my profession, because I'm an engineer by profession. So I can help in terms of structuring the product and giving sizes to the customers to the different consumption patterns.
So you got the, so if you are listening or hearing, please take notice of what has been shared. Be wiser about the choices you make. Expand the people you know. Broaden, deepen conversations. You never know where the break may come from, the discount may come from, and in what form. So if you are in the diaspora, technology connects us. Products can also connect us to solutions. So let's be smart about it. Less headaches, and we'll come with an installer next time. So Ms. Kwangware can ask those intelligent questions to those with the intelligence to talk. Whether 32,000 is value for money or a 10-room house. On that score, thank you very much. And okay.
Say, most people, the request that I processed in South Africa, they had to raise cash. The website is going to allow you to use your credit cards, the equipment. You have to wait until you work that extra hour, extra overtime to raise the cash to help you take it back home. You can use your credit cards and you can then pay monthly from your credit cards.
Okay. Thank you.